Good afternoon, and welcome to another InvestorIdeas.com podcast, looking at cannabis news, stocks to watch, as well as insights from thought leaders and experts. Today we are looking at announcements from Relentless Resources Limited, trading on the TSX Venture as RRL, Marapharm Ventures Incorporated, trading on the CSE under MDM and the OTCQX as MRPHF, and Canada House Wellness Group Incorporated, trading on the CSE as CHV. First, looking at Relentless Resources Limited, who announced that it's entered into an amalgamation agreement dated May 31st this year with Grunwald Organics Incorporated and Relentless wholly owned subsidiary Acquisition Co. to acquire all of the issued and outstanding shares of Grunwald Relentless. The company was also pleased to announce the record date of its previously announced rights offering, its fully funded 29,000 square foot Phase 1 cannabis cultivation facility in Staveley, Alberta, and key additions to its team. The completion of the transaction is a critical step in Relentless becoming an emerging Alberta-based cannabis company focused on the cultivation of handcrafted, select-batch, ultra-premium bud, stated Mr. Craig Kolachuk, president of Relentless. Next, looking at Marapharm Ventures Incorporated, who announced that in preparation for transition to the permanent facilities, cloning has begun for the championed mother plants. During the past 8 months, Mr. Keating, Director of Operations, and lead cultivators Mr. Hunter and Mr. George have used breeding techniques to select and establish the company's first mother plants using award-winning genetics. The team pursued superior mother plants which exhibited strong attributes and DNA characteristics to include yield, potency, terpene and cannabinoid profiles, taste, aroma, plant structures, and node placement. Propagation of several thousand clones has begun from the mother plants and the top 5 strains chosen for the Nevada market, which recorded sales of $49.5 million in the month of March. These strains, highly valued for their properties, include Lemon Skunk, Moonshine Ghost Train, Holy Banana, Kosher Kush, and BF Blue Cheese. And finally, the board of directors of Canada House Wellness Group Incorporated announced today that Mr. Chris Churchill-Smith will replace Larry Bortles as the chief executive officer of the company effective immediately. Mr. Churchill-Smith founded Access Capital in 2012 and has developed extensive transaction experience in the healthcare and energy and infrastructure sectors. He also has significant experience navigating complex regulatory environments in many jurisdictions, having executed and led transactions in 3 continents. In the past 5 years, Mr. Churchill-Smith has participated in investments as an advisor or an investor totaling in excess of $2.2 billion in enterprise value. Mr. Churchill-Smith was awarded the 40 Under 40 Award Dealmaker category by the M&A Advisor in June 2014 in New York City for his participation in the landmark acquisition of the largest renewable energy platform in Turkey. The board is very pleased to welcome Chris to Canada House. His proven track record in deal execution in highly regulated and healthcare sectors will without a doubt drive Canada House on the execution of its business plan and growth trajectory as a fully integrated cannabis therapy company, commented Chairman Scott Purdy. That's all for today's podcast, and Investor Ideas would like to remind you that Potcasts is now a certified word trademark on the blockchain through Cognate Incorporated CM certification. If you would like to be a guest or sponsor for this podcast, please contact InvestorIdeas.com. Investor Ideas reminds all listeners to read our disclaimers and disclosures on the InvestorIdeas.com website, and this podcast is not an endorsement to buy products or services or securities. Investors are reminded all investments involve risk and possible loss of investment.